What's up, guys? You're welcome to David Data Channel once again, where we talk about data analysis, productivity, and faith. You're welcome to today's video. Today, I'm going to be talking about the learning path towards data analysis. The learning path you can take to become a data analyst in the shortest possible time. On my switch, my learning was haphazard. I learned this and learned that. You can watch my video of how I switched from banking to analytics to get really understanding what I'm talking about. You can check in the link above and the link below. Right, but today I'm going to be showing you the learning path you can use to become a data analyst in the shortest possible time. Alright, let's go there. First of all, please hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed and notification bell so you can be notified once a new video drops in every week. Let's go down to today's business. The first thing you need to learn towards becoming a data analyst, in my opinion, is spreadsheets. Spreadsheets, right? Spreadsheets. This could be Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets. You need to have a good understanding of how to use spreadsheets to store data, manipulate data, and get insights from data. This is why, because spreadsheet is like the low-hanging fruit in the garden of data analysis, right? Spreadsheet does not really require you to learn syntaxes, of Python, of SQL. It just requires you to start using the software to store your data, analyze your data. And what this does for you is that it gives you the leverage to begin to learn to think as a data analyst, right? If you were to go to learn something like Python first of all, like I did when I started learning, you would have to start thinking about syntaxes for Python, how to write a proper for loop, how to use libraries like pandas and all the rest. But in many organizations, you may eventually not use Python for analysis, right? You may just get to use Python for few use cases, right? But majority of organizations store their data in spreadsheets, right? One way or the other. So you need to learn how to use spreadsheets for analysis, because it will teach you to learn how to think like an analyst and understand data analysis. Now, some of the things you should learn to use. Okay, some of the things you should learn to do with Microsoft Excel or Google Spreadsheets is basic statistics like mean, median, mode, stuff like that. Plotting simple charts like a histogram, a bar chart, a line chart. Doing conditional formatting, VLOOKUPs, and stuff like that. Those are some basics that you should be able to get to do with spreadsheets, so that you can manipulate data and get insights from those data. Okay. The second thing you need to learn in your path is but in the real world, really, you don't get to use Python so much. You don't get to use Python so much. Like I said, you use Python for use cases. But oftentimes, if your organization is not storing data in spreadsheets, they are storing data in a database. It could be a relational database or a non-relational database. On either cases, you need to learn how to use SQL, because SQL allows you to interact with database, to pull data with database, and to analyze data, right? If you can't pull data from database, how do you analyze data? This is what SQL does for you. And I got to learn very late that SQL was needed, like it's a must. So after spreadsheet teaches you to think. Spreadsheet teaches you to approach problems, right? Because it's like the low-hanging fruit without any syntax. But when you come to SQL, you now begin to apply some of those thought patterns you learned from Excel in SQL. Okay, so with SQL, some of the things you should be able to learn to do with SQL is like writing some select statements, select from, where, having, group by, joins, unions, aggregations, and you could even go further to learning partitioning and all that. But really, at the end of the day, you need to understand SQL, because as you get to use it, you have to now develop your skills and know how to pull in much more data you need for your analysis, right? Okay, the third thing you would need to learn is how to use a visualization tool. Right here you have Tableau, you have Power BI, you have Google Data Studio. These are all visualization tools and analysis tools you need to learn, at least one, not all. You can just learn one for your analysis, right? So that you can tell your employers or potential employers that, I can visualize data with Power BI, I can visualize data with Tableau, I can visualize data with Google Data Studio. You need to be able to learn how to use one of these things. And I would say, in my opinion, the three of them, they seem to have the same underlying basic thought patterns, right? If you can figure out how to work with Excel, or not Excel rather, if you can figure out how to work with Power BI, I think it's just a little learning curve to learn to use Tableau or Google Data Studio. So this is what it does for you. It helps you to build wonderful dashboards for yourself, for your employers, charts that tell the story with your data. Because analyzing data is one thing, telling stories with your data is another thing. You need to learn how to tell visual stories with your data, and this is where these tools come in. Okay, and finally, the next thing you're gonna learn at this point is Python. So see, I brought Python to number 4, right? Excel first, or spreadsheets first, SQL second, visualization tool could be Tableau or Power BI or Google Data Studio, and finally Python. But there's so much buzz about Python. But I'm telling you that to become an analyst in the shortest possible time, put Python aside first, right? Learn these tools. Python lets you work with larger chunk of data in a faster time, right? If you had, let's say, 1,000,000 rows of data, it will not even work in one workbook of a spreadsheet application, right? Because I think spreadsheet applications are 1 million plus or 100 and something plus rows, that kind of a thing. But then even if it's there, it's going to hang, right? Your Excel will be hanging. It takes longer time to load. But then Python helps you to pull data from a database, just like SQL, when you integrate Python with it, and then helps you to run faster queries, analysis with Python. And there are some libraries you need to learn how to use with Python, like the Pandas library, the NumPy library, Matplotlib for visualization, Seaborn. These are libraries that would help you analyze data easily, fastly with Python. So in conclusion, thank you for staying to this point. My advice for you coming into data analysis space: what is the shortest learning path you can use to become a data analyst? Number 1, learn how to use Excel, spreadsheets, Google Sheets. Learn how to manipulate data with it and get insight from your data. Number 2, learn SQL. SQL is never mentioned anywhere, but I can bet you SQL is very, very, very important in the real business world. SQL is important, so learn it. Learn how to use it. Excel should take you about a month or 2 months plus to get basic knowledge about it. SQL should take you at least between 1 to 3 months, depending on the number of hours you put in per week, to get also a good understanding about it. And then you move to a visualization tool, any of your choice. You could use Google Data Studio. Is cloud-based. Like with a Gmail account, you can access Data Studio, or Tableau or Power BI, right? Tableau has a public plan you can use and store visualization in public domain. And Power BI, you can also have the software, the desktop application on your desktop, right, for your visualization and analysis. And then finally Python, right? So don't go with so much buzz about learning Python. Just follow this part, right? And if you can get a hand of basic intermediate level with these tools, I can say you're well on your way to becoming a data analyst. And then you can now begin to approach projects to showcase your skills and your level of work, and then set up yourself for a data analyst role. All right, if you stayed up to this point, thank you very much. In my previous video, I talked about the 4 in-demand skills for data analysis. You can look at it in the link above or in the link below, so that you can merge those 2 thoughts together with this video today. Thank you very much, and see you next week. See you.